In the headlines, Labour dumps federal government's fresh 60,000 naira wage offer shifts to 494,000. Security agents guard Bayara's palace despite court eviction order. Price of tomato, pepper spike amidst scarcity. And on the foreign scene, EU states announce formal recognition of Palestinian state. Hello, welcome to Trust News Update. My name is Liliana Gazi. The organized labor has again rejected a fresh minimum wage proposal by the federal government. This time, the organized labor comprising the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress rejected the offer of the federal government to pay 60,000 naira as new minimum wage. The organized labor also shifted grounds from its 497 stands last week to 494,000 naira. A member of the tripartite committee for the negotiation of a new minimum wage for Nigerian workers said the federal government and the organized private sector side of the talks proposed a 60,000 naira monthly minimum wage as against the 57,000 they proposed last week when the committee last met. The government had initially proposed 48,000 and 54,000 naira last week, which were also rejected by the organized labor. Tuesday's meeting was, however, deadlocked as talks ended without an agreement on what to pay as a new minimum wage. The committee is yet to agree on a new minimum wage 3 days before the May 31st deadline the labor unions gave the government to conclude the negotiations. Despite a High Court order in Kano directing Aminu Ado Bayero to cease parading himself as the Emir of Kano, the deposed Emir remains at the Nasarawa residence heavily guarded by police and military personnel. Our correspondent who visited the mini palace on Tuesday observed stern-looking armed soldiers and policemen surrounding the premises. The court, presided over by Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu on Monday, had directed the police to evict Bayero from the mini palace located on the State Road. Despite this, Aminu Ado Bayero continues to occupy the Nasarawa residence under tight security. This legal conflict follows the Federal High Court ruling last Thursday, which restrained the reinstatement of Muhammad Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano and suspended the law establishing the dissolved 5 emirates in the state. The Kano State Police Command has vowed to enforce the court order, preventing the state government from dissolving the newly created emirates. In the new court order by Justice Aliyu, other traditional rulers in the dissolved emirates were also restrained from parading themselves as emirs. The Senate has passed the National Anthem Bill 2024, which proposes reverting to the old national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee. This bill, which swiftly passed its first and second reading on Thursday, now awaits President Bola Tinubu's assent to become law. The legislation aims to replace the current anthem, Arise, O Compatriots, with the original anthem composed by Nigerians' independence on October 1st, 1960. The bill seeks to revive the anthem that was replaced in 1978 during the Olusegun Obasanjo's military administration. The old anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, was penned by Lillian Jane Williams, a British expatriate who lived in Nigeria at the time of its independence. Frances Breda composed the music. The anthem played a significant role in shaping Nigeria's national identity and unity during the 1960s and late 1970s. In a different development, the Senate has pardoned and recalled Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi, who was suspended on March 12 this year. The recall process was initiated on Tuesday after a motion moved by Deputy Minority Leader Abba Moro, who expressed regret on behalf of the suspended senator. He pledged to assume full responsibility for Ningi's action, acknowledging the gravity of the suspension. The senator's conduct during the period of suspension has been a matter of scrutiny and debate within the legislative body. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, announced the unconditional recall of Ningi after a brief plea by some lawmakers. Akpabio emphasized the senator's resourcefulness and described him as a valued member of the Senate, adding that the decision to recall Ningi transcends religious and ethnic divides. Nengi was recalled 2 weeks to the end of his 3-month suspension, which is supposed to terminate on June 12, 2024. Congress APC and Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State ahead of the November 16 election, Ondo governorship elections. Ibrahim had approached the Federal High Court Abuja, where he challenged the governorship primary election of the APC held recently in Ondo State. The senator claimed that there was no voting in his senatorial district and a larger part of the state. In a notice of withdrawal filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Ibrahim discontinued the suit against all the defendants in the interest of all concerned. At a press briefing on Tuesday in Abuja, Ibrahim said the suit was withdrawn due to the intervention of President Bola Tinubu and his assurances to improve on internal democracy within the APC. No fewer than 25 people have been killed by bandits in Ungwa Lamido of Kakumi Ward in Bakori and Gidansuli in Faskari local government area of Katsina State on Saturday night. The attackers, suspected to be loyal to Adamu Aleru, were said to have been under the command of one Yellow, the younger brother to Adamu Aleru operating in Zamfara and Katsina State. The bandits had mobilized themselves at Gidansuli around 4 p.m. on Saturday before attacking the village around 6 p.m., killing 13 people from where they proceeded to Ungwa Lamido same night and killed 8 residents. While many were shot dead, others were slaughtered, according to survivors who are currently receiving medical attention at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Katsina, before looting houses and setting shops and residential houses on fire. The bandits who ransacked the 2 communities also abducted unspecified number of people, including women and children, as they also succeeded in rustling large number of livestock in the process. Many residents of Ungwa Lamido and Gidansule, including women and children, as well as the elderly, are still missing. Residents of Kuchi in Munya local government area of Niger State say bandits have not left their communities 4 days after they were attacked. Bandits numbering about 300 had invaded Kuchi and adjoining communities on Friday, killing 6 vigilantes and 4 other people. A resident who lamented that he, his family and dozens of other displaced persons were now in Sarkin Power, the headquarters of Munya local government, said about 160 people were kidnapped during the attack. He added that the bandits are still in the affected communities, rustling cattle and committing other crimes. The chairman of Munya local government, Aminu Njume, said the bandits rode on about 150 motorcycles, with each one carrying 3 people during the attack. Worshippers at Mutuminat Central Mosque, located at Ososo Street in Apapa Ajao, Mushin, Lagos, have expressed their grievances over the demolition of their mosques, blaming it on contractors' negligence.
Worshippers at these central mosques became victims as they were trapped in an unplanned demolition in the ongoing construction of road and installation of solar-powered street lights by Lagos State government. They blamed the demolition of the mosques on poor handling of projects by contractors. As you can see behind me, remnants of the construction materials lie scattered around the collapsed mosques. Witnesses say that the heavy digging and placement of these materials compromised the stability of the mosque's foundation.
As at yesterday, we lost one of my members is just like 10 years old, Aniva. Her name is Aniva, and we got one yesterday again injured with one leg. Later got the information that we lost her too today again. So, and one of the young imam, his name is what's his name, Abdulatif Jeje, the son of the chief imam, was the one that was leading the congregation prayer before the incident happened. So that is in the hospital now, but responding to treatment.
When I was praying, I was seeing the sign, but I don't know what is going on. Lately, when I was at the last portion that we used to sujood, I'm seeing something black. When I salam like that, I told everybody, let us rush out. It's because me I'm at the front. Before like this, the thing have blocked me. Everybody have been watching. But the moment of everybody watching is everybody have caught. But is that pillar that even fall on me, Sha? But actually, nobody give up downstairs. But it's only like too little. Yes, a story building. Female are upstairs and male are downstairs.
And then now small brother, you can't pray for this months. You don't enter inside, you don't keep him market for outside. Now so that thing can happen. Now you don't die. You never see in the body safe.
They are grieving over the loss of one of the Islamic students' graduates and others who were rushed to the hospital.
Moving to Jigawa State, where Jigawa State is charting a course for sustainable development through good governance characterized by transparency and accountability under the leadership of Governor Umar Namadi over the past year. This was emphasized during a ministerial briefing that showcased the administration's accomplishment to mark its 1 year's milestone.
The press conference and ministerial briefing brought together the state's 16 commissioners and heads of extra-ministerial departments to review the achievements within their respective domains in alignment with the government's 12-point development agenda. Each commissioner detailed their success stories and outlined plans for the administration's second year. Stakeholders noted that these presentations have not only instilled hope but also demonstrated the unwavering commitment to delivering on its promises, as outlined in its 12-point development document.
Each commissioner present here plays a pivotal role in shaping policies, implementing programs, and delivering services that impact the lives of the Jigawa State residents on a daily basis. Throughout our meeting today, we will be addressing various topics ranging from key policy decisions to community projects, from advancement in infrastructure to update on social welfare programs. It is our sincere hope that throughout this dialogue, we can foster transparency, encourage constructive dialogue, and ultimately work together towards a brighter future for all residents of Jigawa State and indigenous.
With notable progress in sectors such as agriculture, education, health, youth empowerment, and infrastructure, experts believe the people of Jigawa are witnessing a new approach to development in the state.
As part of celebrations making this year's Children's Day, pupils and students across Katsina State took part in the tradition of special parades to commemorate the day. More than 30 schools participated in the fanfare special parade to mark the day. Jamil Mabai has more details.
Abigail comes to school late.
Nafisa Aliu's dream is to become a doctor, but that dream comes with a hefty price tag. One her family simply can't afford.
Half a group of words, if that group of words.
Financial cost is just one of the hurdles Nafisa and many girls like her face in their pursuit of education.
To be honest, I faced a lot of challenges because I am not the only child in our home. I have siblings who are also schooling back at home while I attend a boarding school. I spent 3 to 4 weeks without resuming back to school due to inadequate financial support.
For years, boarding schools offered a path to a brighter future for girls in northwest Nigeria. These schools have become a dangerous target for bandits who kidnap students for ransom. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, Katsina has 500,000 out-of-school children as at 2022. This rise in banditry has forced government to close down schools in these frontline areas. Nafisa's story is a reflection of hundreds of girls in her class, their dreams put on hold due to lack of financial resources and the growing threat of violence.
You need to underline all the remaining words.
A community-based initiative led by local residents is providing financial support to these girls.
Yes, it has really made a change in the sense that before, students, many of them used to run away from school because of financial situation of their parents, or their parents cannot take care of their what is required of them as a school requirement. But with the coming of this financial assistance, whereby those who cannot afford to be getting money, the Agile program is giving them money in the sense that this amount of money of 20,000 naira given to the parents is really helping them in buying books, in buying all what is required for them in the student to attend the school.
This vital support takes a huge burden off their families' shoulders.
Are you sure? Why do you say Musa?
Because it's the dua of the action.
Jamil Mobay, Trust TV, Katsina.
Now moving away from that, prices of tomatoes, peppers and other perishable items in the popular Patringada market of Jos, North Local Government Area, Plateau State have skyrocketed amid scarcity of these commodities. Sellers are complaining about how the situation is affecting their businesses, as customers can no longer afford these items due to the price increase. The sharp rise in prices is not only impacting traders' livelihood, but also putting a strain on customers who rely on these staple goods for their daily meals. Ado Musa completes the report.
This is the popular Paringada market, which used to be bustling with tomatoes, peppers, and other perishable items. Today, however, these commodities are scarce and hardly available, leaving market stalls looking empty. The scarcity has caused a significant price hike, with a basket of tomatoes that used to sell for 3,000 naira now being sold for 26,000 naira. Baba Suleiman, the vice chairman of the market, explained reasons behind the sudden increase in the price.
Firstly, it's due to this subsidy, so everything has changed. Fertilizer, petrol, everything. The money is high. Most of the farmers, they used to farm, they don't have that money to buy petrol and buy fertilizer. Most of them, they don't go to the farm again. So I think that's why we don't have much quantity like last year, because most of them, they don't used to farm again because they don't have that money to purchase all those things. And rain, secondly rain. If this rain drop like last year by this time, because last year by this time there is rain, but now we don't, there's no rain. So due to the rain, all these things will still scarce now.
Some traders explain how the situation is affecting their businesses.
The
situation is greatly affecting our business because people can no longer afford it. It is quite expensive. We are really in a difficult situation. This is where we source money for food, clothing and other expenses. But today the market is not flourishing. The price is high because the commodity is scarce even on the farms. The scarcity has significantly impacted the lives of small-scale traders. Some customers who spoke to Trust TV in the market also expressed their dissatisfaction over the situation.
The last time I came here wasn't even long ago, and it's like the price has tripled, and it's crazy because I mean the one I even bought last time was more than this for a cheaper price, but all of a sudden it's even lesser for a higher price. So I'm still contemplating whether should I buy or should I not buy.
Well, unfortunately, it's actually alarming because the produce are not available. The prices are very high, and it's really difficult for everybody, both the sellers and we, the buyer. We're not seeing the produce. We don't know if it's the government or the farmers. We really don't know, but we're really at loss, and it's really difficult for us, honestly. So we really don't know what to do.
Skyrocketed recently, and everyday tomato price is adding up. So I don't know what's happening with the agricultural system in Nigeria. So if the government can see into it, because a lot of people, I used to sell tomatoes like basically every day, but now a lot of people cannot afford the price of the tomatoes because tomatoes now has gone really up.
Stakeholders in the market have stated that unless the government reinstate the fuel subsidy, the prices of tomatoes, peppers and other perishable items will continue to be scarce and costly in the country. Ado Musa, Trust TV News.
The naira appreciated to 1,339 naira to a dollar at the close of trading on the official window on Monday, gaining 9.68% over Friday's 1,482 naira per dollar. According to the FMDQ data, which houses the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, the daily turnover drops to $180.8 from $556.25 million on Friday, indicating a 67.50% decline at the official market. The naira traded at an intraday high of 1,501 and an intraday low of 1,010 to the dollar on Monday. At the black market, the naira traded at 1,520, indicating 1.32% depreciation from 1,500 exchange on Friday. And now to the foreign scene. The establishment of a Palestinian state is the only route to peace in the Middle East, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has said as his country announced the formal recognition alongside Norway and Ireland. Sanchez spoke on Tuesday before a cabinet vote that approved the previously announced plan to recognize a Palestinian state. Norway's recognition has also taken effect while Ireland has also followed suit. Spanish government spokesperson Pilar Allegra announced that the cabinet had adopted an important decision to recognize the Palestinian state, which had the objective to help Israelis and Palestinians achieve peace. The Spanish Prime Minister called the move a matter of historical justice. The leader of Spain, Ireland, Malta and Slovenia said in March that they were considering recognizing a Palestinian state as a positive contribution towards ending the war in Gaza. However, the announcement earned only fury from Israel, widening its disagreement with some European Union states over the continuing war in Gaza. Tens and thousands of students in Somalia's central Hiran region have been forced to stay out of schools after heavy rains flooded the institutions. According to Somali education officials, more than 37,000 students in this region are no longer in school due to the impact of recent flooding. The area has been battered by rains, resulting in flooding in schools. Parents of the affected students have been accused of intervening. Last year, the Somali government organized special examinations after similar incidents of flooding disrupted the exam timetable. And in sport, over 90 years old former Senegalese rifleman Oumar Diémé says it is a miracle that he will be carrying the Olympic flame as part of the opening of this summer's Paris Games. Diémé's medal adorned traditionally Boubou speaks of his service in former French Indochina and later Algeria, as he recalls those who never returned to their homeland. Diémé explained that some 20 men from his village in Badiana in the southern Casamance region served in the Senegalese Treillaise Corps until it was disbanded in the 1960s. He has been selected as one of the torchbearers to carry the Olympic flame as it passes through the Persian department of Saint-Denis for the opening of the Games at the end of July. Organizers accepted the bid from the department where Diémé lived before he returned to Senegal in 2023. With that, we've come to the end of News Update. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Lilian Okazi. Thanks for watching.